Welcome to the quick start tutorial for SHEEPLE, the best game in the universe. SHEEPLE is a party game designed by Aaron Smith. The game plays to 4 to 8 players ages 8 and up. SHEEPLE is a word comparison game where you, the SHEEPLE, will be given a category in which you have to write down as many items as possible. The idea of the game is, great minds think alike, but not too alike. You get points for matching items with other SHEEPLE and even more points by matching with only one SHEEPLE. Let's now set up the game. First, set up the board in the middle of the table. Second, choose a SHEEPLE character and place your character on the start space, the elementary school. Then everyone should have a pad of paper handy and a pencil. Shuffle the cards and place those near the board where everyone can reach. And that's it. You're ready to play, and the youngest player goes first. Let's now move on to gameplay. When it's a player's turn, they become known as the shepherd. As the shepherd of the flock, they draw a category card and pick one of the 3 categories listed. After the shepherd announces the category, a 60-second timer starts and all players begin to write, as much as possible, items and things that match that category. It could be an object, a person, a place, an idea, an action, and it can be even more than one word like a small phrase. Once the timer ends, it's time to compare and score with the rest of the players. Starting with the shepherd, the current player, they begin to read one by one all their items they have written down. If an item matches with 2 or more items of other players, then it's worth 1 point. If the item matches exactly one other item of one player, then each player receives 2 points. If the item has no matches, then there is no points given for that item. When calculating points, remember that each item can only be scored once. Here's something to note when writing and scoring for items. Some items are the same when carrying the same meaning. For example, hacker and computer hacker are treated as the same item. Banana and bananas are the same item. Another thing like computer and computer hacker are both something different. Shorthand forms of words are acceptable, such as OR for Oregon. Items that are more specific than others are considered to be different items. Cake and chocolate cakes are different items. Also, listing different items of the same series like Rocky 1 all the way to Rocky 5 are different items. On the contrary, redundant items on a player's list are marked off and don't score. Here's a look at scoring for 3 players. Jane is the shepherd this turn, so she reads her list first. She has written down pop, which matches Finn's popular. Both of them receive 2 points. Next is jazz, classical, and rock, which all players match and receive 1 point. Both Jane's punk and Finn's punk rock match for 2 points since they are considered the same. Next, ragtime matches with Copernicus, and both receive 2 points. Both techno and new age don't score since they don't match with any other player. Now it's Finn's turn. He can skip all the items that he already scored for, and Jane no longer needs to compare items and waits patiently. First, the group agrees that both Finn's musical theater and Copernicus's Broadway musicals are a close enough match and both receive 2 points. His other items are unique to his list, so he scores 0 for the rest. Copernicus is the final player. He marks off the rest of the items he didn't score for since all the players already compared lists. Jane scored 9 points, Finn scores 9 points, and Copernicus scores 7 points. Remember, it's not how many you put down, but who you match up with. If players cannot decide what can be accepted, they can vote. Tiebreakers are decided by the shepherd player. For each point received, the player starting with the shepherd moves their character stand spaces equal to the number they scored for that round. But if a player lands on a description, that player will be advanced forward or moved back. If they land on the SHEEPLE space, they draw a card from the SHEEPLE deck and follows its instructions. To win the game, the player will need to move or pass the university space. More than one player can move past this space. Once a player has gotten this far and all players have finished moving, then the game has ended. The player who has finished further along the track is the winner. If there happens to be a tie, then the victory is shared. This concludes the tutorial for Sheeple. See optional rules in the manual for playing with younger lambs and for team play. Please visit asmithgames.com for more information about Sheeples.